Today I would like to talk to you about our prison system and the underlying philosophy behind incarceration. Now, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word criminal? Do you think punishment, prison, and retribution? Or do you think victim of tragedy, childhood trauma, and mental illness? I want to start off by saying I believe in law and order, and I believe in accountability, but there are methods and policies that can be implemented to achieve these elements without the use of punishment. I won't go on about how the system is flawed because we all know it, and we all know that there are system failures happening everywhere. What I want to talk to you about are the two essential components of the justice system that with reform can change society for the better. The first component is one you have heard many complain about before, which is our prison system. Let's look at some facts. According to American statistics, approximately 2.3 million people are incarcerated, and 2/3 of those prisoners reoffended within 3 years of leaving prison and often committed an even more serious and violent offense. The ideology behind prison is extreme punishment to make crime so unattractive that it would deter would-be criminals. This ideology was implemented through mandatory minimum sentences, which created a situation where first-time offenders are swept into the main prison population. Our prison system is firmly entrenched in a punishment mentality and not of rehabilitation. A key focus of prison systems is seeing prisoners as individuals with psychological needs that need to be attended to. Crime needs to be seen as not just an act, but as a consequence of an underlying social or psychological problem. The prison system needs to see it as their responsibility to address and to tend to those problems if they can. When considering the fact that these prisoners will one day be released back into society, then it makes perfect sense that the prison should not be about punishment, but about rehabilitation and treatment. The second component is not something you immediately think of unless you understand the power dynamic of the justice system. We have to understand those convicted of crimes are people in need of serious help. Those convicted are almost always victims of childhood trauma, poverty, loss, disengagement from school, and early interaction with the police and the criminal justice system. We rarely, if ever, acknowledge how ill-equipped our prosecutors are to receive and deal properly with those being accused. Prosecutors make life-altering decisions for people every day, not understanding the supreme power they have. Prosecutors must become aware of the grave consequences of those decisions. Arraigning an individual would give them a criminal record, making it harder for them to have a job, setting in motion a cycle that ultimately defines our criminal justice system. With a criminal record and without a job, this person would be unable to get an education and find good housing. This would most likely lead them to commit more serious crimes, and the more contact they have with the criminal justice system, the more likely they will keep coming back. This is where the disconnect happens. The prosecutor fights so hard to have this person thrown in jail rather than working with the individual to first be held accountable, then find a solution so they would not reoffend. We need more prosecutors who understand the power of opportunity as opposed to the wrath of the criminal justice system. We need prosecutors who want to change lives. I'm gonna start. You're probably wondering, why should this matter to you? Well, let me tell you that this money that you're spending on a failing prison industry could be reallocated into education, mental health treatment, substance abuse treatment, and the list goes on, so we can develop a safer neighborhood. We should demand better from our criminal justice system because we and all future generations deserve a better and safer society. Thank you.